there was the screen was not get shared properly. So I will revise once again the applied aspect of Kent repertory. According to Dr. Kent, man is the will and the understanding, and the house which he lives in is his body. In perceiving what is to be cured, to be diseased, one must proceed from generals to particulars, study disease in its most general features, not as seen upon one particular individual, but upon the whole human race. Then common symptoms versus general symptom. Most important that the common symptoms that we say are not generals, that is general symptom. The common symptoms are different because the common symptoms are related to disease condition, and general symptoms they are related to individual, because mental general, physical general, they are related to individual or person, and the common symptoms they are related to the disease condition. So most important is that common symptom that we say are not general symptoms. Common symptoms are symptoms of disease, whereas general symptoms are symptoms of the patient himself. Then common symptoms, prolapsus, a common symptom, and in it, it is a common thing to say, Doctor, I have such a dragging down in my bowels as if all my insides were coming out. This is a common feature and is a common symptom. So, for the condition prolapsus, for the prolapsus patient, the patient is having prolapsus. So, for that patient, the dragging down in his bowel, it is the common symptom of that disease condition. So, this is not the symptom of the patient. This is the symptom of the disease. So, it is called as common symptom. Now, while uh, repertorizing the case, how the Dr. Kent he approaches, how his way to approach the symptom, to approach the individual. According to Dr. Kent, individualization of the sick. It is must to individualize the patient, because to find out the PQRS or symptoms which are different from one person to other person. Then prime importance to the mental generals, completeness of mental symptom. Secondly, importance to physical general, particular symptoms for differentiation. So primarily he gave importance to mental general symptom. Then secondly, he gave importance to physical general symptoms, and particular symptoms he used for differentiation. Common particular symptoms he cannot use usually, but the characteristic particular symptoms he used for the purpose of forming totality. Then completeness of mental symptoms. Screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Completeness of mental symptoms. How we should complete the mental symptoms. So specified mental symptoms qualified by modalities and sensations, featured only in a particular condition or sickness. For example, restlessness, heat during, clinging, children in, then sick when, fear death of, diarrhea during. So in this way, each mental symptom it should be complete with its modalities, its sensation, and its particular condition. At which condition or when the patient, the mental symptom that appear. So these, in this way we have to complete the mental symptom in every aspect. Then physical general represent the essence of life affection. They are derived from common features. They are derived from the common feature present in one or more particular symptoms. Common sensation or common modalities are represented as physical general. Location may be different. Means while considering the physical general symptoms, common symptoms related to physical general, common modalities we have to differentiate, and the more particular symptoms we have to, or the physical general symptoms, they are derived from common feature presenting one or more particular symptoms. Means during any particular symptom, if there are changes at physical level, then the location of that particular symptom, it may be different. So common sensations, common modalities present during any particular symptom, it should be noted. If there are changes, then characteristic particular. The characteristic particular are the symptoms of the disease. All these particulars which are in opposite to the physical general, they appear as rebellious symptom. The characteristic particular symptoms are nothing but the symptoms of the disease, and they are uncommon symptom or characteristic symptom of the disease, so that we can able to differentiate one person from the other person. They are not common symptom of that of the disease condition from which the patient was suffering. Then Kentian totality. How to make the totality of symptom according to Dr. Kent. While repertorization or before repertorization, we have to analyze, we have to evaluate, and we have to make the totality of the case. And while analyzing the case, while evaluating the symptoms, while making the totality, forming the totality, we have to differentiate the symptom according to the repertory or according to the philosophy behind which repertory we are going to use. If we are using Kent repertory for repertorization, then we have to analyze, we have to evaluate, we have to make the totality according to the philosophy of Dr. Kent. And as we know, Dr. Kent's philosophy, that he is giving importance to mental general symptoms first, then he gave importance to physical general symptoms, and then he gave importance to characteristic particular symptoms, so that while constructing the totality, we have to consider the mental general symptoms first, then physical general symptoms, and then characteristic particular symptoms. So in this way, we have to make the totality of the case. Totality of the case according to Dr. Kent's philosophy. Kantian approach has the flexibility to be applied to the common symptoms also. It is the need, as in many cases, symptoms are not uniformly presented as in the text presentation. Case taking possesses a challenge to many with limitation of their skill in observation. There exists a wide gap between the observed fact and the reality. So as we get the symptoms from the patient, by taking the case, we get the symptoms. The symptoms as it is, we cannot found in the repertory. So it is the skill of the physician to convert these symptoms into proper rubric, to observe the patient carefully, and with it his observation also to find out the proper symptoms of the patient. There exists a wide gap between observed fact and reality, and not only we gave importance to, or not only according to our observation we have to judge the patient, because there may be wide gap between the fact and the reality of the patient. So it may be our interpretation may be wrong. So always confirm the symptom first with the relatives, with the family members, with the attendants, whoever present with the patient, and then uh, confirm the symptom or confirm our interpretation of observation. Then presentation of common symptoms are visible easily and attract first attention. As such, one has to develop an approach to enter into the cases by interpretation of the common symptoms. So the common symptoms, they are visible easily. The patient gave information when the patient came to our OPD. He gave information about the common symptoms only, and it will attract, or it will our attention will go towards the common symptoms first. As such, these common symptoms are nothing but their interpretation, they are the approach to enter into the case through common symptoms, or after asking the in detail regarding the common symptoms, regarding his sufferings, then slowly we go towards his physical general, his mental generals. Directly when patient came to our OPD, we cannot go towards his mental generals or his physical generals. First, if the patient came to your OPD, you cannot start with how you are feeling, how you are, or आपका नेचर कैसा है, हाउ यू आर बाय नेचर, हाउ यू आर व्हेन यू आर हैप्पी, हाउ वाज योर चाइल्डहुड, और हाउ we cannot go towards his lifespan. But to go to the, or to enter into the case, the common symptoms, we go through common symptoms, then slowly we ask the details about other things to the patient. So common symptoms are nothing but the approach to enter into the case. Common symptoms are related to the common behavior of human life. As such, they represent the basic nature. So common symptom, they represent the basic nature of the patient. Intensity, peculiarities in the occurrences, association of one symptom with another, grouping of symptoms. So the common symptoms, they represent the basic nature with its intensity, with peculiarities in the occurrences, with the symptoms which are present with the common symptom, as well as grouping of symptoms. We can able to find out the behavior of human life. So common symptoms are also very much useful symptoms. Utility of common symptoms. How common symptoms they are useful while approaching or while repertorizing, before repertorizing the case. How we can utilize these common symptoms in the case. So common symptoms, when represented in group, they become peculiar to disease presentations. When in the group they are represented, in so many people we found the same symptoms that are called as common symptoms, so they become peculiar to disease presentation. For example, in the pandemic of COVID-19, as the common symptoms are sore throat, cough, cold, weakness, body ache, fever. So these are the common symptoms of this disease, and they are presented in so many peoples who are suffering from this disease condition. So these symptoms, they become peculiar symptoms of the disease, and these symptoms represent the disease condition. So when we found these symptoms, not necessary every patient suffering from sore throat, cough, cold, fever, or weakness, body ache is having uh, or infected with coronavirus, but there are the chances of coronavirus infection that increases. This was the example of the utility of common symptoms. Means the common symptoms, when represented in group, they become peculiar to disease presentation. Common symptoms completed with modalities and sensation represents a characteristic feature in a particular location. So the common symptoms having modalities and sensations, it represents a characteristic feature in a particular location. Means with modality and sensation, it become characteristic. Then case worked out on common symptoms. How we should work the case with which is having the common symptoms. An infant presented with high fever, had diarrhea, and crying constantly with irritability. Nose was watering and demanding water frequently. So this was the case, that is, there is an infant, means a child below 1 year of 1 year age, and he was suffering from high grade fever, diarrhea, and he was crying constantly. There was irritability which is found in that infant, and as he was suffering from diarrhea, it may be due to dehydration. The patient or that infant, he demands for water, and his nose was constantly watering, constantly watery discharge from his nose. So how or which symptoms we can take for the repertorization, which symptoms we convert it into the rubric: the fever, intense heat, then diarrhea during fever, then irritability during heat, coryza during fever, thirst, heat during. In this way, when we go through Kent repertory, we have to convert these symptoms into rubric, and we have to do the proper repertorization with computer repertories, or you have to do manually proper repertorization with the help of Kent repertory, because the manual repertorization it is must that you should know how to do repertorization properly, and it is for your practical examination also. There is one long case and one short case. Long case is for proper repertorization with repertory sheets. So you have to know how to repertorize the case properly. So manual repertorization is must, but here they have done the computer they use the computer repertory, and they done the repertorization by taking the above rubrics which we have seen, and with the help of, or after doing the repertorization, the result was that first arsenic, then bryonia, then aconite, gelsemium. In this way, the remedies or result of repertorization it came, and with the help of totality, with the help of proper uh, after we get the group of simillimum, then uh, group of similars, then from that we have to find out the exact simillimum with the help of the symptoms from the case. A mere book one symptoms, hunter would see no difference between sickle and arsenic. So all the bookworm symptoms, after going through all the medicines, Dr. Kent says that there is no much difference in sickle and arsenicum. Case cited for peritonitis with abdomen distended. The next case, that the patient was suffering from peritonitis with distended abdomen. The patient was restless, often vomiting blood and passing blood from the anus, horrible burning with the distended abdomen, unquenchable thirst, dry red tongue, lightning like pearls. So we have to take for this case in this type of rubrics, that is mind restlessness, mouth dryness, stomach thirst in stomach section, thirst rubric which is unquenchable, then again in stomach section vomiting type of blood, in abdomen distension, in abdomen pain burning, in generals pulse fluttering. In this way we have to repertorize the case, and the result was arsenic is having 19 marks, phosphorus 17 marks, sickle 14 marks, stramonium 10 marks, aconite 16 marks, calcarea 15 marks. In this case, arsenic and sickle have all these things equally, but when sickle is indicated, he wants all the covers off, wants to be cold, wants cold application, wants the windows open, cannot tolerate heat, and the warm room makes him worse. So, while what is the difference between sickle and arsenic? As the symptoms which covered by both these remedies, but according to Dr. Kane, physical general, we have to give importance to physical general, and as in sickle core, he does not want the covering, he wants all the covers off, he wants to be cold, wants cold application, wants the windows open, cannot tolerate heat, and warm room makes him worse. And we know the arsenic album. In case of arsenic, he cannot tolerate cold. He wants to be wrapped up warmly, even the month of July. He cannot tolerate cold in any form. He, even the month of July also, he wants to wrap up warmly, wants hot food and hot drink. So this is the basic and main difference between arsenic and Sikale. So as these both medicines, they cover most of the symptoms, they cover the totality of the patient, but then also due to this basic difference, or how we differentiate the final from final group of similars, how we should find out the similimum. This is the way how we have to differentiate the remedies and find out the exact similimum. So this is the main difference between Sikale and arsenic. That Sikale, he want cold application, he cannot tolerate heat, and arsenic is exactly opposite to the Sikale, that he cannot tolerate the cold. He wants warm things, warm food, hot drink, etc. The whole materia medica is full of these things and is based upon this kind of individualization. So in this way, we have to individualize the patient. We have to individualize the case so that we can reach towards the exact similar. Common symptoms serve as base point enter into a case, and Kentian approach help us to remain with common man. So common symptoms, they are the base, they are the these are the things through which we can enter into the case, and with the help of Kantian approach, we can enter into the man. How the man is, we can able to find out. So this is all about the applied aspect of Kent repertory. Then in the last lecture also, we discuss about some rubrics, some practical guidelines about the Kent repertory, which rubrics or which type of rubrics which we found in which section, and or where you look for the some rubrics, and these are hunting of, it is also called as hunting of rubrics, and these are very important how to find out the rubrics in the Kent repertory. So or hunting of the rubric, it is also very much important, and we discuss about these things. So in the some we discuss about some practical guidelines from where and how we have to find out the rubrics. So desire and aversion to food, we have to refer to in stomach chapter. Then food disagrees, we have to find it, or we get it under the section generalities, and also under stomach disorder. All conditions of general modalities, effect of discharges, weather, etc. referred to under generalities. Then symptoms of neck under external throat and back cervical region. It's all the symptoms of neck we found under external throat and back cervical region. Then diagnostic rubrics, which we found under generalities section. As we know, concomitants are scattered in all the chapters. They are not having a particular, they are not given in a proper sequence. We found the concomitants are scattered in the Kent repertory and referred to under the symptoms in the concerned chapter. For example, during fever, hunger increased, which we found under appetite increased, fever during means in section appetite under increased fever during, then headache